My name's James Cameron. I'm the CEO of Mission Motorsport, the Forces Motorsport charity. Mission Motorsport is the Forces Motorsport charity, and we work through a love of automotive and the automotive industry that sits behind it in order to help those who are leaving the services to recover, for those who are wounded, injured or sick, or for those who are looking for employment after the military, to be able to find relevant, vibrant, exciting careers through a love of automotive. And I'm sitting in an amazing thing. This is our third generation Poppy car, which are an art car project that we've done 3 times now, and it's all about telling a story, telling a narrative and inspiring people around a common theme, which is that of remembrance.
I'm Jack Taylor. I served for 9 years in the Royal Air Force as an engineer, predominantly working on C-17s and Chinooks.
My name's Mark Tarling. I served with the Royal Green Jackets from 1998 till 2006. I did 3 tours of on operations. Did Kosovo in 99, Afghanistan 2003 and Iraq in 2005.
It's so much more than a car, isn't it? You know, the car's just it's just a medium to express what this all means to us. You know, people forget that when the war's over, it isn't. People suffer, and I know stuff like this just makes it like they're not forgotten.
Like Jack says, you get lost in the moment. You know, when you're working on it, you kind of zone out, and so everything that's going on in your life just evaporates, and you're just purely focusing on what you're doing. And like you say, you get lost in it and you get sucked in. So it's just like a force field that sucks you in, and you just get stuck in a moment sort of type
safe
thing.
Space.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's almost
5 or 6 of us who were all veterans, all have been through some of us are still going through the recovery process, some of us have been through it. Together, who've been involved in the last 2 of them, and we chucked all ideas around on a group chat, and then was it Lee? Lee got them all together, wrote a load of stuff down, and then someone with a bigger brain than me put all the ideas together and came up with something beautiful.
I think there's over 2,000 individual poppies on the car.
But 635 of them, they're different in that they reflect a flash, and they're magic, I called it. And it represents the 635 bods we've lost in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Over the last 20 years.
Over the last 20 years, yeah. It's a big number, that.
Hi, I'm Shell. I'm Mark's wife, and I'm also a Mission Motorsport beneficiary. Mark and I met in 2005 when we were both serving out in Iraq. Mark was out there with the Army and I was out there with the RAF. So we've been together 16 years, but we've been married for 5. So I've been with Mark through his journey with his PTSD, day in, day out, 24/7 for the entire time since the day we met, really. Well, over that 16 years, earlier on within that 16 years, we found it almost nigh on impossible for Mark to find the help that worked for him. And it's been a really difficult and very challenging road, trying different options, trying to engage with different services, because we're all individuals, and I think it was just really hard to find something, wasn't it, that worked for you personally. And that really came to a head a couple of years ago when I think it almost seemed like we'd reached the end of a road, that we couldn't really find anything that would help. And so I noticed that Mark, over that time, and particularly up to a couple of years ago, had lost a lot of his personal characteristics that he used to have. So confidence in himself, confidence in his abilities, his self-esteem, motivation. And it came really to a point where he would
Give up.
just give up. Yeah, he didn't want to go out. He was working for himself at the time and couldn't motivate himself to go to work. His anxiety levels were uncontrollable. There were days where I couldn't get him out of bed. I couldn't encourage him to do the most basic things like get in the shower or have a meal. And we didn't really know where to turn with it. We didn't know where else to go to make a change. Well,
we started going to a veterans group over in Upper Heyford, and then through them, one of the ladies from Veterans UK, who does work for Mission, said told us about Mission Motorsport and that they were doing a coffee morning just across the road, obviously because we live just literally across the road. So we came across and just kind of got introduced to who they were, and so that was sort of to the end of 2019. Then obviously COVID had an impact on everybody. So it's only just since the lockdown finished, sort of towards the end of last year, early this year, that I started getting really involved with Mission. And then as we've got to know them, that they've given me so many different opportunities. Like, I've been trained to be a skid pan instructor down at Tluxton Race Circuit. Then obviously being involved with being taught now to do vehicle wrapping, and hence a poppy car. And then on top of that, then sort of I've been doing sort of test driving for Morgan. So yeah, I'm doing amazing things that people just wouldn't do in everyday life. And yeah, it's given me a massive sort of boost to my whole life.
Mark's back to the person that I first met. To see him come down the stairs at a reasonable time of the day instead of being just,
locked away.
Yeah, he'd shut himself away. It really sounds almost unbelievable. Many people might be watching this and thinking, well, how difficult is it to get yourself out of bed and get in the shower? But actually, for somebody that's really struggling, that is impossible.
Like I said, it's just it hasn't really sunk in the kind of effect it's had on people. I still don't believe when I look at it and go, yeah, I did that. It's quite I'm not one for sort of kind of bigging myself up about it. People say it's an amazing thing. Well, to me, it was just a job that I enjoyed. So. Yeah, like I say, it doesn't really. I love looking at it. It really is nice, and when you see it and just go, wow, it is kind of like a showpiece.
It's the first time I've seen it today. Yeah. So, and when I first saw it this morning, it was very emotional for me. Still is